the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Former Chief Justice Yemami Gertrude Tokonu a NDC Amanyɔkuo no ɛba bɛtena akonnwa so led by John Dramani Mahama a wɔn etimi eyi maami esi nkyɛn sɛ wɔn nsa aka petitions bi a edi adanse sɛ maami ɛho ɛnte a John Dramani Mahama etimi ɛsɛte the 5-member committee chaired by Justice Gabriel Scott Pwamang a meno kasa yi de committee no egu so a ɛyɛ adwuma pa a ɛnyɛ asɛm kotoa. Former Supreme Court judges bi aba bedi adanse sanso ɛna former Supreme Court justices ebinom nso aba bedi adanse a committee no egu so a adwuma no kwa na ɛkɔ so a ɛnkyɛ na committee no ɛde ne decision aba na yehu baabi a asɛm no ɛbɛkɔ akɔwie na yɛbɛkae a recently a Catholic bishops in Ghana etimi ɛde krata aba abɔnten na de yeni nkan nkonkotie no wabra na Paul kyerɛkyerɛ ansan yewia a yɛhwɛ baabi a so far committee no adwuma no akɔdu ɛne baabi a Chief Justice Faith nso ɛbɛkɔ yɛnkotie.
That was used by media on Tuesday. The National Catholic Secretariat, Office of the President of the Catholic Secretariat, and is entitled Statement by Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference on Electoral Violence and Suspension of the Chief Justice. It reads as follows. We, the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference, have followed recent developments in our beloved nation with profound concern. As spiritual leaders and responsible citizens, mindful of our collective duty to uphold justice, peace, and integrity of democratic governance, we feel compelled to share these reflections with the people of Ghana. True democracy transcends the periodic casting of votes. It embodies a just social order that respects the rule of law, upholds the intrinsic dignity of every human person, and guarantees citizens the right to participate meaningfully in shaping our national destiny. At the heart of this vision lies the sanctity of the ballot and the imperative of peaceful election. Since the promulgation of our 1992 Constitution, Ghana has rightly been celebrated for its democratic stability. Yet, this hard-earned reputation is gravely endangered whenever electoral violence surfaces, as was tragically witnessed recently in Ablekuma North constituency. We unequivocally condemn all forms of electoral violence, especially the brutalization of citizens, including journalists. Such acts constitute a gross violation of human dignity and betray the very foundations upon which our democracy stands. We therefore urge the states to initiate prompt, thorough, and transparent investigations into these incidents and ensure perpetrators are held fully accountable. Impunity corrodes public trust and fosters a culture of lawlessness. We further call upon the government to implement without delay the recommendations of previous commissions of inquiry into electoral violence, ensuring lessons learned translate into meaningful institutional reforms. We remind all political actors that elections are not a contest of might, but a platform for the exchange of ideas. We urge political parties and their supporters to exercise maximum restraint and prioritize national peace above partisan advantage, even amidst intense political competition. The Electoral Commission must sustain and deepen its stakeholder engagement efforts to bolster public confidence in electoral processes' integrity. Similarly, we urge the security services to act with professionalism, impartiality, and foresight in preventing and managing potential conflict. A healthy, functioning democracy equally demands an independent, credible judiciary, free from political interference. Justice is the indispensable cornerstone of national cohesion. Without it, grievances fester and violence finds fertile grounds. It is in this critical regard that we view the current tensions arising from the suspension of the Chief Justice. While acknowledging the necessity of due process, we caution strenuously against any action, perceived or actual, that could compromise the independence or impartiality of the judiciary. The removal of a sitting Chief Justice is a matter of profound national significance. This process must be scrupulously guided by constitutional principles absolute procedural fairness and a clear respect for the doctrine of separation of powers. Any precedent that appears to place the judiciary at the mercy of executive risk irreparably eroding public trust in the very institutions citizens rely upon for justice. In the light of these grave concerns, we urge all stakeholders to act with the utmost conscientiousness, safeguard both the invaluable rule of law and the dignity of the judiciary. The recent National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving convened by His Excellency the President provided a welcome moment for spiritual and civic reflection. May this now inspire a deeper, sustained national commitment to unity, reconciliation, and lasting peace. Let us, as one people, fervently renew our shared covenant to build a just, peaceful, and prosperous Ghana, a nation where every citizen finds refuge in the law and hope in our common future. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong, and is signed by the Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Nsem-Pii, Bishop of Sunyani and President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference. Very, very poignant, very telling. The Catholic Bishops' Conference is unhappy with the processes at the Chief Justice. Now, what are we picking up from the Chief Justice situation? We understand that the process is ongoing at the Justice Gabriel Pwamang Committee, the learned Chief Justice, Justice Tokonu, and the learned Acting Chief Justice, Justice Bafo-Boni, here on our screen. So we understand that the matters are going on. We are checking with our lawyers the extent to which we can publish the things that are going on in there, given the in-camera situation. They are researching, they'll tell us what we can do, because we have quite a lot to say. Apparently, important people have been appearing as witnesses for Justice Tokonu. Constitutional experts have appeared before the committee as witness for Justice Tokonu. They have laid down the process of the Constitution. They've laid down the philosophy that's underpinned Article 146. They've laid all of that down to the committee. We also understand that important former Supreme Court judges have all appeared at the committee for Justice Tokonu. They've come to indicate that how do they say these days? The things that are being discussed as against Justice Tokonu in terms of conduct. There are other former Supreme Court justices who have appeared there, people who have had occasion to act as Chief Justice on occasion or the other. They've all come there and they are talking. We hope, as the Catholic Bishops' Conference is also hoping, that this will end up very, very well, and it will be good. It will be good for us, so that the judiciary will be able to stand very, very firm. In the light of all that, we picked up something Okoboy said. I watched Dr. Zato on the finance ministers, on the Attorney General's issue. I'll come to that in a minute. But this is what Okoboy was talking about, and we liked it. In a studio in Nsem-Pii with Obi, we're always watching Obi's program, about the suspension of the Chief Justice. Now, Okoboy is not a lawyer, so it's very interesting listening to people who are not lawyers, who are bringing the commonsensical and the social angle to this matter. This is what he said.
You see, a two Obi no one kebia ochna one shana be count. Now, mami way, Chief Justice. One of the things I am and this will be brave and penasem, and it's a court 2020 no. I'm say 12-0 and I 7-0 scholar. Na Obi.
A scholar on football.
Utie sebi. I see doing ketia kra or babe 2 for example for no. Or no so mo kwa no mo kita hwe. Obi. It's sad when Obi, instead of Obi reflecting and fixing the issues, Obi Daniako to Bisu. Sorry, no no. Me my psychologist imitation. It was a way of energizing the NDC base. Say Sebiya Luzu court na I am Brian, so that the base will still be energetic towards 2024. But by doing so, no, what could create situation? Ama ya 7-0. Ama say no, what's antagonizing the courts? Na only 7-0 no. So mumpe unti de biya na yesa. But God is watching. If anybody tells you God plays no role in politics, it's a lie. This woman, Obi, this woman, if she goes on her knees and prays, na Obi, Sebi, ena Oyeno, Obi na tatano, I've cited the example of the 7-0. Look at some of the issues that I raise here. So, or trust suggesting my president say, or recommend you be. Now, me recommend you my shall come. You see, when you look at some of the Niamamo cited or cancel lowering the threshold, what means say, well, be why yet now doing that. If you might imagine that I say, we'll deal with this person. Now, I think the next step is how do we get what we need to deal with the person? But like I'm saying, Tony Blair says something very powerful for leaders, and I'll say it. I say, when you become a leader, especially when the mandate you got is overwhelming, never be mistaken to assume that it is so much love. Most of the time, it is expectation. And that you will make enemies along the way unknowingly. Don't spend time making more enemies deliberately. Mami way, unknowingly in the bush, I saw your film with fear of freedom. Are there hearts that you are bringing aboard or you are losing? Obi, all I'm saying is that I will
tell you the Sh0cks story. I also had a family.
Yes. But you see, that is why Omomuka Asemeneno, me show more now. What was their position and orientation that time?
On Sh0cks.
Yes. You see,
who was orientation?
I say you criticize the two Sh0cks.
You see,
why are you supporting?
Yes.
But
I am saying,
Obi, you see, Obi, and you see, they say little drops of water make a mighty ocean.
Yes.
It is possible that Charlotte's friends, family members, and people who are not happy. That's why I quoted Tony Blair's statement. If you can avoid. Adiamuka Wasem say, in fact, Charlotte today has been giving some board
Yeah, Ghana Gas board.
What does it tell you? If someone is not sympathetic or does not believe in the ideals of the NDC, would they be made the board chair of Ghana Gas? Board member. So what it tells you is that no, or your dear, it is her.
How?
Obi, me moderate. Me in case of this member. Me in case of the ideals, the ideology. FPT exactly. You did know. Musu Kroma nyina say the Akufo-Addo ye ebia no kan na ebia ne Okobo amitina ebia amitina as opposition member. Na no de obi ye down the line eni abetra no. Usu ofa sa kwan no so a sebi ebetimi di wa ba ebia ye wo no. Edu Charlotte so no na wo ye dede. Obi ye dede ne o say ye come but question you have to ask yourself the oya na no o hwa eboa no ana amboa no. So Obi, media, me can say the man who has the chance to make history today in this country is Justice Pwamang. And that's an Ivan.
Justice Pwamang.
Obi, people have made history for the right reasons. Obi, others have made history for the wrong reasons. My prayer for him, I've said it here, I'll repeat it, that his fidelity will lie to the content of the discussions and the cases that will come there, and not to predetermined links. My prayer for him. Why? And I mentioned it here. Because those who gave him the task already have a wish. Makada and yeah, idea kukum. Pesama oka publicly, not kukum say. They have to reset that whole place, starting with the woman. But my prayer with him is that say okomuna content, you know. Obi content, you know, or share case now. Now the outcome is that the woman should go. Sebi, her blood will not be on her hands.
Which blood?
But what I say, a figurative expression. I don't want your blood on my hands. It is in person they were two no misuna fire. But what I say, and yes, baby. So the point I'm making is that Obi, that man has the opportunity to make history. And unfortunately for him, he can't choose the other option. He will definitely make one which is on the right side of history, or the other way. And I'm happy you're a lawyer. Students will come 20, 30, 100 years down the line. They will look at the Pwamang report and they will use it to teach students how his fidelity to the law stood, whether it advanced the cause of the law and justice or it betrayed the law and justice. And I keep on saying, I pray for him because it is not easy when the one who gives you a task
Oko can brofo.
Enye easy. Se nipa all small say you juma bi man no. Who idea of the ohwehwe. Enye easy. I pray for him.
It says the Ministry of Finance has issued commitment authorization for the following road infrastructure projects under the Big Push program. They're going to have construction of a new bridge on the Oti River Dambai, rehabilitation of Han Road, upgrading of Tumu Hamle Road, upgrading of Tumu Han Laura Road, reconstruction of Navrongo, rehabilitation of Techiman, rehabilitation of Winchi, construction of this. He has 32. Viewers, I can assure you, and I hope I'm wrong, but I can almost suspect. But next year when we come and do the mid-year budget, some of these will reappear. And they will reappear and they will say that construction of new bridge, Oti River, Mr. Speaker, and they will say, yeah. It was in 2001 that Kwesi Pratt identified that the Bole Bamboy Road in the budget had been in the budget from 1996. Every year, the Minister of Finance says, Mr. Speaker, the Bole Bamboy Road will be done. And they say, yeah, and it was showing up every year. So all of these things that he's listed, I pray that by the time we come for next year's budget, he would have achieved all of them. But I suspect he wouldn't. And they will relist them again, that this is what the Ministry of Finance is going to do. Sometimes that's what happens, and I'm hoping that civil society and the researchers will keep the minister on his toes, the minority in parliament will keep the minister on his toes and keep him to strict proof of some of these things that he says he's going to do. Sometimes also, it can get more ridiculous than that. Sometimes, some of the things that they list has already been done. It gets that ridiculous. It can get that ridiculous. So let's pray and hope that this is not like that. Let me look and mention to everyone, so that wherever you are, you can see that your road is being looked at by the government. So there's rehabilitation of Techiman in Koranza Wenchi Road. There's rehabilitation of Wenchi Solar, construction of Sunyane Outer Roads, construction of Kumasi Outer Ring Road, rehabilitation of Nankpanduri Road, rehabilitation of Dodui Pepeso in Kwanta Road, rehabilitation of Atimpoku Asikuma Junction Road, rehabilitation of Asikuma Junction, another road, reconstruction of whole roads, upgrading of Akosombo, Jatkiti Road, upgrading of Asikuma to Enum Road, a lot of Eastern region projects I can see. Upgrading of Adome Bridge to Akwamufie Road, that's Eastern region. Rehabilitation of Whole Potoi Road, Volta region. Rehabilitation of Potoi Road, Volta region. Rehabilitation of Afia Denyuga Peyi Road, Volta region. Rehabilitation of Peyi Aflao Road, Volta region. Dualization of Winneba Mankesim Road, Central region. Dualization of Cape Coast Takrady Road, Central and Western region. Rehabilitation of Mankesim, Ejumako, Breman, Esikuma, Agona, Suedru Road, that includes Atofolson's constituency and Ofosu Kwache's constituency, Central region. Rehabilitation of Tema Aflao Road, Greater Accra and Eastern and Volta region. Reconstruction of Dodowa Afenya Dowenya Road, that's Greater Accra region. Upgrade of Oyibi Apollonia Afenya Road, Greater Accra region. Construction of Inche Elubo, Western region. Construction of Dadieso Akontombra Road, Western region. Upgrading of Ejufua Osei Kojo Chrome Road, I believe Western region. Upgrading of Enchi and Kujuru Peki Road, that is Western region. Upgrading of Bediako Junction, Camp 15, Seshi Adabo Chrome, and that's also Western region. So which region didn't get some? Let's see. There's Upper East. Bolga is where I'm not seeing anything. That's Upper East region. Bolga, I'm not seeing anything yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's widely covered. Greater Accra and Eastern seems to have a significant part of road construction being done. Okay. Kaisel Atuforsen gave the budget, but before he could do that, the minority walked out of parliament. They didn't just walk to stay outside. They had a mission. They walked out of parliament and found themselves at the office of the president at Jubilee House to present a petition to the president. Let's see whether we can capture some of the scenes of the minority in parliament today going away to give petition. They also went to the head of the diplomatic corps, and they also went to the Cordial office. Their petition was in twofold. They were concerned about the what they call violence, electoral violence, making reference to Ablekuma North just recently passed elections, and they also were concerned about the judiciary. Can we see some of the videos if we have it?